Everybody, I'm going to be doing stream around this battle scene that I'm building for the next season. Um, be hearing some special, art. So, uh, you'll be hearing things that you haven't heard before, right? Since it's a new season. Figured while I'm building this, I might as well just stream a little of it and see if you like what we do. Feel free to ask questions in the chat if need be. Um, so let's see here. All right. All right. All right. Let's see here. I think I got everything figured out. About ready to start on this guy here. I'll give you a tour in a moment. Better ways to do all this stuff, I'm sure. I just don't know everything about setting up Beyond Stream. All right. Let me close all my social now. We're off to the races. All right. Let's see if I do this right. Hey, thanks, man. glad you like the beard. So appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, so what we're looking at right now is episode 5 of the next season. So right in the middle of the season, I'm going to be building a battle scene, and in this case, no spoilers, but if you're witnessing this, you'll have little bit of a spoiler. It's going to be hard to not have it. Sophie is out in an arena, and is going to be battling with this gladiator known as Eben Dragonheart. So what we're going to do here, so usually what I do in Reaper is I will I separate everything out into their own tracks, of course. Then I'll group them into sections. So you see over here on the on the right. So like Keldor all lines. Let's actually, I try to get them all colorized too. We're gonna make that red. So that's me, narrator stuff. So know that's up on top. Then underneath that, the master. So when everything's said and done, I'm able to. Oh, what's up, Scotty? Nice, buddy. Good to see you, bro. or hear from you, I should say. So yeah, very cool. Thanks for joining, man. So the master of everything that's underneath it, audio wise, that way I can pull the narrator up on top and then have everything else underneath it so it doesn't get too buried. In the past, that's been kind of a problem when you get too many sounds, especially in battle sequences. They have a tendency to kind of eat each other up, right? So it kind of overlay with each other. So to avoid that, I have them broken out like that. So underneath the master, then of course we got the soundtrack, we got our door transition, another soundtrack piece. Looks like we got flashbacks in their own section, outdoor scenes. That's where we're going to be diving into a lot here. So we'll bring that up to where we can see it a little bit. See the outdoor scenes. Sophie Zane, they're all on their own track along with the sound effects bus, and that's where we're going to add some of this fun stuff into the battle. Okay, so let's find out where we're at here. Where's my transport? There you are. So I have a swat and clatter. And I had a running spear throw that I wanted to put in here. So let's give her a second. No soundtrack, it's just all background noise. Sophie, what have you.
Yes, let's.
Sophie picked up a spear from me.
So you can hear the footsteps. I want to bring those footsteps up a little bit further. Bring him up. Grab this. I'm just going to affect the base file so that way I don't have to chase it. You know, that's easy enough. A little quick edit. If need be, we can go in there and we can animate it. You know, so it's going through it all.
Sophie picked up a spear from the arena floor.
I like that. So got that. Don't need to necessarily follow the spear traveling through the air. Sometimes it's cool. You know, you can have a little like whistle in the background, and then as it drops. But in this case, I think we're going to go to the narration and then have it drop out of the sky. So let's see.
Sophie picked up a spear from the arena floor and threw it at the charging warrior. He swatted this.
Okay, so then the spear lands, gets swatted. So that it's striking the ground right there, but I don't think it gives the impression that it's being physically knocked out of the air. So let's grab some. I want to have some sounds in here, like, let's see, over here. You won't. Fortunately, you can't see my library, but I'll tell you what I'm searching for. Let's see, chain. You know, chains sound good. That sounds like a warrior, right? And you got chainmail, clanking steel, those kinds of things. Picture the movies in your head that you see, because that's what we're trying to emulate. Are those moments, especially. Here we are. We're in an arena. I can't imagine what movie I'd want to think in my head of with Gladiator, right? So let's see here. I think I got chainmail hit. Let's see what that sounds like. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. So let's grab him, and we'll drop him in here. Out the library. It's usually some of these libraries. I'll have multiples. Now I want this chainmail hit to hit when that ground hit was there, right? And in fact, we could split this up in the waveform. You see the peak right there. That's where I'm steering it. I'm going to just scoot him over here. So that's where the impact is. I'm going to grab this impact because that's the ground impact. And if I drag it over here, kind of put it midline with the strike itself. I'm going to grab these, move them over, and now hopefully I'm going to hear the air rushing by of of the spear, then the strike of this chainmail strike sound that I brought in, and then overlaid with the spear kind of hitting the ground. Let's hear what that sounds like and see if it gives us a little bit more of the feeling we're going for.
He swatted it.
Well, that's not too bad. Let's see.
He swatted it.
Really hard to pick up on the chainmail hit. I'm going to give it its own track. Make it easier to control in here. Yep, sound effects 3. Sure, that's fine. Make it blue. That's kind of a key when you get the a lot of tracks moving at the same time, is you want to have you want to use your colors inside Reaper. That's a great way to keep things straight. So inside this bus that I've created, underneath the bus of the outdoor scenes, underneath the bus of the master itself, I have all the sound effects in one place, so I can easily just adjust it from one ticker within here. All right, so let's hear that again. It sounded really quick, so I don't know if that's going to work.
The charging warrior. He swatted.
All right, so a little bit of the action. It sounds better. Oh, I meant to put that down on its track. Oh, okay, let's try that again. There we go. So there is a strike, and then that spear kind of hits it. I'm gonna trail it a little bit to give it a little bit more.
He swatted aside. He swatted aside.
I don't know if I'm a fan. Not a fan. I'm going to delete that. I want it to clatter when it hits the ground, right? When it's a wooden pole with a metal, the metal head of the spear on it. So I'm picturing it. It's going to clatter a bit when it hits the ground, like when somebody drops a broomstick on the ground or something like that. Nowadays, we're not used to a lot of medieval sounds and what have you. So it's what it sounds like. What do we envision when we hear it, right? It doesn't have to be the same thing. I mean, I made spiders yesterday out of, or the sound of the dying spider. In fact, let me just play that for you while I'm pulling this up. All right, so if I go back over here, we'll go back earlier on in this. We will hear this sound.
Like those giant spiders in the underworld. She shuddered.
Hey, hear the clattering there?
Spider-like mandibles twitch slightly, even in death.
Yeah, so she's fighting this Ettercap, right? And they're kind of like spider people. So the mandibles are kind of like doing this clacky sound. And I used a squirrel and I changed the pitch on it. I like it. It gives it that sound of the kind of the clacky and give it some reverb and what have you. It's all fun. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to look for, back to where we were. Yeah, swat and clatter. I even said it there as a note to myself when I was giving it a listen through. I'll leave markers and say, oh, I want to have this. I want to make sure that gets in there. Don't forget. I did forget. I forgot to read it. So let's see. Do I have it under clatter? Or maybe I got under wood debris. This is where sometimes I'm like, I get my head around a certain sound. I'm like, oh, it's got to be this. And of course, all the sounds in the world, if you get hung up on one in particular, it's hard to get over it. All right, quarterstaff wood hit. What's this? Okay, so that's just a hit. I want it a fall. So what if I do sometimes impacts, okay, some falls, snaps, destruction, creaks and bends, wood block. Wood deck. May have to go out to the world. The wonderful world of the World Wide Web. All right. So, of course, everything in entertainment is easily. There's a lot of people out there that try and take advantage of creators and all that stuff, and everybody involved in it. They're all different creators. So I'm a big fan of trying to support where need be or finding the free resources that are out there. Recommend Freesound. So go out to freesound.org. Usually you can find things under a zero creative license, or at least an attribution license to use in your stuff. Just make sure that you plug them if that's what they're asking for. If they're just giving it away, then use it. But I think everybody needs to get credit where credit's due. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to do a wood drop. Let's see what happens. Dropping wood. Good. Let's see what that sounds like. Nope. Some clanging. Let's see what this sounds like. Some planks. Ooh, that might be pretty good. We'll probably work with that. Try that again. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll drop it down a little bit just to give it some depth. And yeah, this is good to go. Creative. All right. Show and folder. All right. So I don't forget where I'm at. Easy to get lost in years of audio stuff, man. That's for sure. All right, that's what I want. I like this guy. All right, we're gonna have it kind of clatter here. That's going to be pretty loud, so I'm going to bring him down. Just looking at the waveform. I'm going to guess off the waveform there. Let's go ahead and minimize him.
You swatted the side.
There we go. That sounds a little bit more.
You swatted the side.
You want to have that delay in there because it's got a little bit of distance if he smacks it hard, right? This is epic. Everything. Go big, go home. Don't want little things. Doesn't matter if is that real? No, this is fantasy. We're gonna have a good time, make it fun.
You swatted it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more of a gap.
You swatted the side.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, so I want this to blend a little bit more, so I'm gonna grab some of that waveform here. I'm gonna taper it in so that way it blends with the tracks above, and let's see what that does.
You swatted the side.
Yeah, boom. So it's almost like the sound of the spear coming in at the same time as Eben's gauntlet being swung through the air to smack it aside, or buckler, or whatever. I like it. Now he's a warrior, and one thing that we know from watching wrestling and stuff is you got to make it big. So let's see here. If I go to I want to bring in a sound. Go figure. Let me elaborate on that. So if he's swinging, I need a grunt. I need a some sort of vocalization. This isn't Planet Fitness. You can say things. So let's see here. Where's Evan? There he is. Okay, so Evan, also played by Elric Timothy Atchison. He was a trainer, and so I'm going to use one of his parts from the prior season, some Foley that he did. So, trainer, and we'll find something with him. I got wounds. I got headshots. Those might not be bad. Let's see. As long as he's not yelling. Too much. Let's see. Arm wound, maybe. Oh, that's kind of long, drawn out. I want something short. All right, we're getting there. Nah, maybe a belly hit. That might be a little too guttural, but let's see. Oh, shorter. Okay. Attack grunts. That is probably a little bit closer. There we go. Let's just use that. All right. So I'm going to grab that. Drop it right in here. Have that. His track is already cranked up a little bit. Let's see what it sounds like.
He swung it aside.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. All right.
He swung it aside with his armored arm.
I like it. I'm not even going to scoot it. I think it tells the story that we're trying to get at, right? One thing it is don't want to get stuck rock polishing. Is it good enough? Yes, it's good enough. All right. Save the rock polishing for the mastering. That's where I'll burn it and I'll wait a day and then I'll listen to it. Never burn it and listen to it immediately. Give yourself 24 hours. And then I take notes. I just listen to the whole thing, take notes, write it all down. And I mean, yeah, it's not my favorite part of the process. All right. So, let's see here. So we got a sword clatter up in here, and I think we got a charge that's happening. Let's listen to what's going on.
The arena floor and threw it at the charging warrior. He swung it aside with his armored arm, missing the mark. He continued charging forward.
Okay, continued charging forward. Well, that means run. So, this is a running track I was using for Sophie. I'm going to pop this up. Looks like a non-affected, so I can do it on this same track. Pow. Let's see what this does.
Mark. He continued charging forward with his sword, swinging wildly at her as she stepped out of the way in a swift, graceful.
So he's going to swing the sword, and she steps out of the way. So may not need a sound of Sophie as much as we need another grunt from him. So, hey, we got a couple in here. Let's see. There we go. Oh. Where you at, Elric? There. Way down there. Okay. All right. Problem with multiple tracks. It's lining it up. Right? Okay, let's see here.
Charging forward with his sword, swinging wildly at her as she stepped.
Yeah, so we got to... I don't know if I need the whiff, but well, let's throw it in there and see what we think. So sword swings. So a sword swing, you picture in your head, that air whistling by and all that stuff. Here to tell you that that's not what happens when you swing a sword. So it's very rare. You do it with like a rapier, you can do it with something like that and maybe get that sound. But the best sound that you can get for that swing is actually a rake, of all things. So you get a wire rake, not a toothed one, not the hard tooth one that you'll use for sand pits and stuff like that. Not that kind. You want the leaf rake, classic wire bristle. And with that, you give a swing on that, it sounds great. So let's do that. So rake. We got some different ones in here, but I think it's close. There we go. Yeah. So that's a good sound right there. So we're going to take that and bring it up to where we have this here. Expand that waveform a little bit so that way it stands out. Otherwise it'll get lost in the crowd. It's very high rangey, so the crowd's very loud because it's a crowd. So I want the whiff before the grunt, because that tells the story of intention and loss, versus if I go the other way, it's a whiff, or it'd be the grunt and then a whiff. Kind of tells intention. Let's see. I overthink it sometimes.
As she stepped.
All right, that meant nothing. Crank that up again. Good and loud, and let's see what it sounds like.
Swinging wildly at her as she stepped out. Swinging wildly at her as she stepped out.
I'm thinking right after that, right after his...
Wildly at her as she stepped out of the way.
Yeah, because the stepping out of the way kind of leans into it, doesn't it?
As she stepped out of the way in a swift, graceful motion, swatting upward to the sword's...
Okay. So here is where we want to clang. So she's swatting upward at the crossbow into his knuckles, essentially. So this is going to be a very uncomfortable moment. All right. Let's see. Oh, it's a simple one. I got some sword foley that I did, where actually Cody hit me in the hand when we were doing this in the backyard, so it's kind of funny. Yeah, let's go ahead and just grab that. So got these guys in here. We'll just kind of, I'm going to solo this track. Let's listen to it, see what we like. See, it's a disarming sound, so I think this is the one I like, is this guy right here. So let's grab him. It'll be back. It's like Terminator. Let's see here.
Stepped out of the way in a swift, graceful motion, swatting upward to the sword's...
Right, so at the sword, I saw where the marker was. So I kind of watched the transport, so let's see.
Motion, swatting upward to the sword's crossguard and the fingers beneath.
Okay, so right here, the fingers beneath, we need to have a grunt, and then I'm going to have her do a grunt before. So that's where the transport is. I want to get his first. So we're trainer. Another search on trainer. Where you at, buddy? All right, this is going to be a good hit. Let's see. Does he scream? Let's find out. Ah! Oh, yeah, that's good. I like that. All right. Come on. Let's make this... make it fun. No? Do this for a reason, right? Okay. So have that happen into the knuckles. Hitting knuckles doesn't really have a sound, does it? I could put in celery foley, that big bone crunching sound, anything like that. I don't. That we'll reserve that for if he gets crippled, something like that. What gets, loses a limb or hurt so bad, can't fight. That's what that sound is. This is more comical, if anything else. Here's this great gladiator comes out swinging at what he believes is a rookie, and she steps to the side and definitely smacks him in the hand, right? So I like that. Let's see here. So Sophie. Okay, there's Sophie's lines there. We're looking for a battle cry, a strike, that kind of a thing from her. Let's see. That one thing about Sophie and Sarah Jenkins in particular is she goes big, and so I know I'm looking for an attack grunt, probably not a battle cry, because that's going to be intense. So let's try a grunt. Let's see. There we go. That's Sophie kicking butt. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, I am huge Sophie fan. I think Sophie's awesome. All right, so she's going to step to the side, hit that. I'm going to line these waveforms up. You can see it's going to go bap, bap, and then his cry. I think that's the rhythm we want to have. So let's listen.
Motion, swatting upward, the sword's crossguard and the fingers beneath. Startled, he missed with such momentum that the weapon flew out of his hands.
All right. And then we're going to get it's a metal drop, right? So sword clanking to the ground, falling to the ground, something like that. Oh, yeah. Of course, with the collection in particular, saying drop is kind of funny. So, probably not drop. Trash can, metal drop, maybe? No. Same thing. I want small metal drop. The sword foley again might not be a bad idea. Let's see what happens. Do I have any? I may have a sword drop in here. I think just using that foley again, because we were trying to get all different sounds out of it. Sword parries. It's an epic thing, isn't it? I'll have to remember that for later on. And that sounds pretty cool. I want a sword drop, just like a oops. I have sword drops. Scrape, stabs, draws, hits, echoes. Some of those are classic. Sword echo. Right, very, very anime right there, isn't it? What's this? That's a nice scrape, but that's not what we want. All right, back to the sword foley. So get that and toss them out here again. Now I'm just going to grab this first one, I think. Actually, this is an interesting waveform. I may just choose that and see what it sounds like when it hits.
Flew out of his hands. Sophie began to attack him with Zane's daggers. 6.
Nice. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. So I think that'll work. All right. Let's see. Oh, there is the time. So we're approaching noon. I think I'm going to break from the stream. Kind of showed you a little bit there. Got some other things to run, and I will be streaming again here soon. I think I'll schedule it next time so that way y'all know that that's what I'm doing. But thank you so much for showing. And yeah, I will talk to you later.